Today, there's so much in our lives that influences us, our environment, the people around us. Sometimes we don't even know what's influencing us, and that's what we're here to talk about. Welcome to the Influence Today podcast with Chet Tart and Terry Lyle.
Welcome to another edition of Influence Today with Chet Tart, Terry Lyle. Hi Terry, welcome.
Hey Chet, good to be back.
We are broadcasting from Venture X in PGA on Palm Beach Lakes, PGA Boulevard in Palm Beach Gardens.
It's all the same. This is PGA, Palm Beach Lakes.
Everything is the same. And if you listening to us, we'd ask you to share and to like, especially like. Hit that like button a million times, please. We appreciate that. And today we're going to talk about influence. We're going to talk up to a special guest. We have John Provost on, who used to play Timmy on Lassie, and there's a lot of influence in that. Hi, John. How you doing?
Hey, Chad. Hey, Terry.
Hi.
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad you could be with us. We want to talk a little bit about, if you remember, back in it's the late 50s and early 60s, and that's when the show was on the air, right?
Right. I started in 57 to 64.
Okay, let's talk about the influence. That's our topic, but what influenced you to get into this business?
Well, okay. I listened to a couple of your other guests, and they had more of a decision into where their life was going. I started in the business when I was not quite 3 years old.
Wow.
So, Terry,
Yes.
did you have much influence on what you were doing when you were 3?
No, only my mom and dad. I did whatever they told me to do.
It was my mother.
Okay.
My parents were not Hollywood people. My father was from Alabama. My mother was from Texas, and they met in Hollywood. 1940, got married. My father was an aeronautical engineer, and my mother was a homemaker. And one day she read in the LA Times that Warner Brothers was looking for a 2 to 3 year old blonde boy to be in this movie starring Jane Wyman. And when Mom was growing up in Texas, her favorite actress was Jane Wyman. So she thought if she took me on this audition, she was going to meet Jane Wyman and get her autograph. And that was the only reason. She could have cared less about the business or anything. Long story short, there were over 200 little boys at this audition, which they called the cattle call, and I ended up getting the job. So as far as, my input goes, I am a strong believer in being in the right place at the right time and taking advantage of that. And that's what my mother did. And so, at this audition where she was just going for an autograph, I ended up getting a job and starting my career. And so, I didn't even have an agent. So a woman comes up to my mother and says, I think your son's going to get this job. And my mother goes, well, wait a minute, I don't care about that. I want Jane Wyman's autograph, right? And so the woman says, well, no, you don't understand. She goes, if your son gets this job, then he needs representation. He needs an agent. And Mom says, no, we own our home. We don't need an agent. Guys, she didn't have a clue. But this woman said, well, I'm, the number one child agent. I can represent your son. And that started it. So, like I said, I believe in being in the right place at the right time and taking advantage of that. So that's how I got started. Then I was in 10 movies and some early live television up until the part for Lassie. Then Lassie for 7 years, and then after that some more movies. And I started to take control of my career at a later date. When I was on Lassie, I had a 7-year contract with a 3-year option. Normally the option is the studio's. Well, somehow in the contract, the option was mine. And so when the contract came to an end at the 7 years, the studio wanted to go for 3 more. My parents said, hey, this is great. Do you want to do this? And they said, but, you don't have to. It's up to you. And I decided, I want to move on. I'm tired of playing Timmy. It's a great role, but but you have to move on. And so I told my parents, I said, no, I want to quit Lassie. And I still want to continue acting, which I did. So, it all boils down to, like I said, being in the right place at the right time.
Did your mom ever get the autograph?
She got a lot more than the autograph.
I bet she did.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I just had to ask because that was the whole impotence of everything you were talking about. So I'm like, I need to know, did mom get the autograph? At least one.
Exactly. But, that just shows you never know, where things are going to lead.
Correct.
And I just happened to have at that time the look they wanted, the temperament they wanted. When other children, at 3 years old, they would tell them to go sit in that man's lap and say, hi, Daddy. They would freak out.
Right.
That's not my daddy, no, I'm not going to go. Well, I did what what they wanted me to do. And so I learned as I was in the industry. I was kind of an apprentice on the set, and I was.
Let's talk about the show Lassie. That must have taken your exposure to a higher level.
Oh, it was incredible. We worked 9 months out of the year to film Lassie. Now we make between 34 and 37 episodes a year, half hour.
Wow.
And today, a series, they make, maybe 10 or 12. So, we worked a lot longer. When we filmed, it was 5 days a week for myself, 10 hours a day. The rest of the crew worked 6 days a week. Like I said, 9 months out of the year. On the weekends, I was promoting the show. I was doing publicity, parades, what have you. And then, on the time that we were on hiatus, Lassie and I would take a month and we would travel the country, going to the major cities, going to Miami, going to, Dallas, going to Chicago, and promoting the show. So, it was a full-time job, 24/7. And wherever I went, people recognized me. I'm a 10, 11, 12, 14-year-old kid.
Wow.
And I couldn't be a kid because everywhere I went, people said, whoa, that's Timmy. We watch you every Sunday night. And as you guys remember back then, Terry might be a little young. We only had,
I like you, John. I like you.
I couldn't hold that one
Oh,
there.
thank you.
We had 3 networks. Actually 4. What was it? Dumar or something? I forget.
Dumont.
And if you were in a major city, you might have 1 or 2 independents, but that was it. So, people were watching Lassie every Sunday night, and it was a big influence because our show dealt with reality. It dealt with morals, values. I mean, yeah, Timmy wasn't the smartest, kid, but he learned from his mistakes. He never talked back to his parents. And our show, we touched on all kinds of groundbreaking things. We touched on the environment. We touched on pollution, on animal rights. You name it.
Well, since you were that young, what was your influence with education? Because obviously if you're working full-time as a young man, what was your education like? That was really before homeschooling was what we know it is now.
Correct, Terry. Well, actually, we probably invented homeschooling.
Exactly.
The only time I ever went to public school, really, other than, when I was in kindergarten, was when I went to college. All of my schooling was private or studio schooling, and
Sure.
my studio schooling consisted of myself and 1 teacher, so it was just one-on-one. Everything was regulated, by the state. You had to have 3 hours of schooling a day, had to be completed by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and like I mentioned earlier, it was a 10-hour day. Well, that was broken up into 3 hours for school, 3 hours of actual working.
Wow.
1 hour, 1 hour of transportation, 1 hour of recreation, 1 hour for lunch. Now, I think that adds up to 10. So, everything was really regulated, and they watched after me. Yeah, the studio tried to pull a few things once in a while, but we had social workers on the set. And my mother was on the set 99% of the time.
Sure.
So, yeah, so they never, they would try to push the envelopes, should we say, but it didn't happen very often.
What was Hollywood like then compared to now?
Wow.
I know that's a big question. I mean, I don't.
That's 100.
Well, let's talk about the morals and
that's a big difference. I mean, it was a smaller town. Like I said, there was only 3 major networks. The studios were switching over from the big silver screen to this little box in people's living rooms. So it was a whole different time.
Mm-hmm. So when you were shooting the TV show, and did you realize that there was value messages or messages going out? Was it done purposely, and did you understand that?
No, we didn't have a clue to the impact we were going to have. I mean, the show is still on in reruns in over 50 countries. On my website, johnprovost.com, I get emails from all over the world. We're on in over a dozen cable networks here in the States. Who knew? We didn't know. And on any given day, we could be filming from 3 different scripts. So me being a child, I would never sit down and read a script from page 1, to the end. I would only study what I needed to know for the next day.
Sure.
And so, like I said, we could be filming from 3 different scripts. So really, a lot of times I didn't even know really what the story was about until I sat down with my family every Sunday night in front of one television in our home, eating TV dinners, if you remember those.
Oh yeah.
Watching Lassie, and then I would go, oh, now I understand why we did that. So,
Yeah, now they're called...
Well, I didn't have a clue, maybe the producers, and I'm sure the writers did.
Yeah, now they're called internet meals, instead of TV dinners or internet dinners. But yeah, it's the same kind of concept. Yeah, but it's a different world now, obviously, as we all know. But I think it's interesting that, even from your developmental standpoint, psychologically, of how you had to do differently than most normal kids, if you will, quote unquote, that went to school and did what they had to do, but you still made it, and it didn't scar you, I guess, too badly. Like all of us have scars, that's just part of life. But it's how you live with them.
Well, and basically it boils down to your family values and how you were raised and, what your parents teach you.
Right.
My father said, all my children, I am the youngest of 3. My father said all my children will go to college, and when you go to college, you leave the house. I was treated no differently than my brother and sister.
Mm-hmm.
I got 50 cents allowance. I had to clean my room. I had to take out the trash. Plus, I was working, so, and my brother, I would get up in the morning, Mom and I would go to the studio, my brother and sister would go to school, my dad would go to work. I mean, that's the way it was, and, I got to do a lot of stuff that other kids didn't get to do. I got to see and go a lot of places and meet a lot of incredible people and do some very incredible things, and still do. And it's all from that. And, like I said, well, Terry, you said it. We all have scars.
Yeah.
We've all, but you survive. You cling on to the important things,
mm-hmm.
and that's the majority of that is family and values. That's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
So after 7 years of doing this, you said, I'm just tired, or was there another reason?
I was 14, I was going through puberty, I was tired of dogs, and everybody was, the girls were still looking at me as a little kid, and I'm going, wait a minute, I'm not. So I did 3 more movies after Lassie. This Property is Condemned, with Robert Redford and Natalie Wood. The next movie was a lot of fun. It was called The Secret of the Sacred Forest. And we filmed it in the Philippines. It was Gary Merrill. It was his last film. It was a lot of fun. Horrible movie. I'm sure you've never seen it.
I've never heard of it.
And then, yeah, good, I'm glad. And then my last movie was The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes with Kurt Russell for Disney. I just turned 18 and finished that film, had a great time doing it, and I said, you know what? I just graduated high school. I'm 18. I've been working 15 years. I think I'm going to take a break.
Right.
And that's what I did, and that's when I left LA. I moved up to Northern California to go to college. I fell in love with it up here, stayed up here. Still in the business. Well, we had a new Lassie series in 89-90. That was great. Still doing stuff. Just was in a local commercial here in California. And, you know, June Lockhart said this to me many, many years ago. She said, you know, I started this business when I was a kid, and I'm an adult. She said, you're a kid, and you're going to be an adult someday, and you're going to play adult parts. Mm-hmm. You know what? She was right.
Yep.
And she's 94, and she's doing great, and, you know, we speak. She's always been there for me. A great lady. And, you know, and there you go. You were asking about what Hollywood was like. That's what it was like. It was like people like, you know, June Lockhart and, you know, not people that, you know, won't give you their autograph.
Right.
Things have changed. Things have changed.
Well, yeah, and the process, you know, people have changed, and it's been, you know, it is what it is, and the key to life is navigating all these issues and places. I mean, it's challenging, and, you know, Hollywood is a different place even then, much less now, and it's entertainment, and now our entire world is entertainment driven. So, you know, it's interesting how you were in the entertainment business, but every child in America now, I don't care what their age is in entertainment, because, you know, they all want their own Facebook pages, they want their own YouTube channels. I mean, they're all trying to be stars, and that's the world we live in now.
That's right, and when, you know, you see them walking down the street, a half a dozen kids, they're all looking at their phone.
Yep.
So that's what it's all about, and you know, you know, there were bumps in the road and challenges, and I wrote my autobiography, Timmy's in the Well, and it says a lot in there about how, you know, I lived with it and how it affected my family. That's a question people don't ask.
Right, that's an important question. Yeah.
Regular family. I mean, my father, in 7 years, only came to the studio twice on Lassie. Mm-hmm. He didn't really care about it, you know. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it affected them. It affected my brother and sister in you know, a lot of ways. And so, you know, it took a long time and put that down on paper. So people might find that interesting.
So you have a book that's out now?
Yes, it's called Timmy's in the Well, the John Provost story.
Nice.
And it's available, you know, on Amazon or on my website, johnprovost.com.
Great. Hey, I have to ask you too, I just thought with your name spelled the way it is, Provost, are you guys into the RV world? Is that your family?
That's Prevost.
Yeah, I know.
I wish we were.
I know, I saw your name, I'm like, no, it's almost there. It's almost the same because,
Every time I see one of those buses in front of me down the road, I go, gee, I wish I had 10% of that company.
Exactly. Yeah, good stuff.
Well, thank you, John. Thanks for being our guest. Would you do me a favor? Would you come back and do a part 2? I'd like to talk a little bit behind the scenes of what happened on in Hollywood. Would you be able to do that?
Certainly, we can definitely do that, Chad.
Okay. This has been Influence Today with John Provost and Terry Lyles, and we're broadcasting from Venture X, and we're on PJ Boulevard in Palm Beach Gardens. If you like the show, please press like, and please share with people. Influence Today.